So here's a video to review for the final exam, kind of give you a feel for what is the final exam going to look like, what are you required to know, etc. Okay? So just as a reminder, the final exam will be administered via LMS. It will be released on Thursday, April 30th, and it will be due on LMS by at least 3 p.m. on Thursday, May 7th, which is our final exam slot. How is it going to be administered? There are two separate parts. They are weighted half and half. So there's a conceptual exam, which will be administered via a quiz in LMS. So once you click go, you have 2 hours to complete it. So you can complete it anytime between Thursday, April 30th, as long as it gets turned in by 3 p.m. May 7th. But once you hit go, you only have 2 hours. The written exam will be much more like homework. So it's like a take-home exam in the sense that I will post a document, a PDF, and then you need to do this document and it needs to be turned in via an LMS assignment tab. So you can open it and it needs to be turned in at least by 3 p.m. on May 7th. All right, so what are some details about that? So the written exam, again, it's about 50% of your final exam grade. The written exam, it's open books, open notes, calculator, computer, internet, all of that is fine, except if you find something on the internet that helps you, you need to cite that source unless it's something involved in the textbook, class notes, whatever. I assume you'll be using that. So you are allowed to use the internet in terms of knowledge, not in terms of asking someone to do your homework for you. That is wrong. So you can't post on some discussion board, what are the answers? But if you're finding knowledge, Googling to help you with your homework or this written exam, that's fine, but you should cite your source. So please do that. You should submit your written exam similar in style to what you're doing on homework, with an exception that you have to have any code, any solver, all of that has to be submitted. So you should submit a PDF or a Word document that provides all your answers and any code, Excel files, etc. There are 4 problems with many subparts. There's data associated with it. And these are not all weighted the same. For the most part, the exam is focused on stuff we haven't been tested on, but it is technically a cumulative exam. So one of the questions is much more cumulative, but I am looking for you, even in problems that are, let's say, a little more network optimization or inventory, that you're looking at this systematically. And so the majority, it will be inventory and network optimization, but technically you should be approaching these problems systematically and capturing everything we've learned in this class. And some of these questions may require you to make some assumptions. So all models are wrong. All models have some assumption. So you should document what they are and any notation used. All right, and so if you have a question about what is this problem asking, that's fair game to ask me. However, my response will be responded back to everyone. So to make sure it's fair, I will share any answer I have to anybody's question about the exam to everyone, and that will be posted on LMS on a discussion posting. And so to be fair to everyone, you need to ask me any questions initially so that we can get clarification out of the way and everyone is on the same page. So you only can ask me clarifying questions until Tuesday, May 5th at 5 p.m. And then I won't ask or answer any more questions. The reason for this is I want everyone to have the same clarifying information. And if people are asking me last minute, then people that wanted to turn this in earlier don't have that information. Okay. All right, in terms of the conceptual exam, again, it's about 50% of the final exam grade. It will be administered through LMS's quiz. And it will consist of multiple choice, true and false, and short essay questions. So once you click go, you have 2 hours to complete it. It is open book, open notes, open computer, calculator, except it's individual. Okay, so you can't talk about any part of this with anyone else. That's true for the written one as well, but this is very important that you don't share, write down answers, tell people what they are. This is cumulative and it covers all topics in the course. There will be a set of videos that reviews the whole course topics that I will be posting in the next couple of days. That would be a good way to study. Another good way to study would be doing all the clicker questions and all of the slides, doing all the multiple choice in your exam one, as well as there's a ton of old exams posted. And one thing to note is I have made these such that they are clustered in terms of questions, but not everyone's going to get the same questions. So they are randomized, they're different. 2 hours should be plenty of time for you to do this. I didn't want to limit it too much in case there's technology problems. I want you to be able to think about this conceptually, but please do not cheat. Please use this time for you to think about the problems, not for you to write down what these questions are and share with your friends. And so I know I've talked quite a bit about academic honesty in this video. Unfortunately, the last time I gave a take-home exam, I had academic honesty problems, and just to let you know, 2 people in that class got zeros on their final exam. And my discussions with them is that the risk reward, they would have probably not done that much worse by themselves. There is no reason to cheat. Don't cheat. And I know people think, oh, Jen won't turn you in. I will. I hope I don't have to. I don't want to, but please do this for yourself independently. So what does that mean? I want to make it clear. So this is a final exam. So this exam is independent. So you really should not be asking anybody about this exam, any questions, even people not in this class. You really should not talk with another human being electronically except me. Okay, so if you have questions about the exam in terms of clarity, you can send me an email, but I'm the only other human you should be mentioning this exam to. So you shouldn't discuss it, you shouldn't disseminate it, you shouldn't describe it, you shouldn't talk about what is in it until after the deadline. So that means you shouldn't ask, what did you get on problem 5? Like, that is wrong. Also, you are allowed to use the internet and you can Google things, but please cite them. And that does not mean you can electronically ask anybody. So you can, if you find somebody else's course notes on the internet that's talking about inventory theory and that was helpful to you, that's great. You should still be doing the answering. So hopefully that makes sense. I really hope this is not an issue. You guys are awesome, just do awesome, but please don't cheat. And please let me know if you see or know about any of these conditions. And it's something I do take seriously, so please don't do it. All right, so just as a high-level overview, there will be videos on all of these topics as like a review and an overview of the class, but they're both in some ways cumulative, more so the conceptual than the written. And so if you think about way at the beginning of the class, we started at just what is a supply chain, then we did forecasting, aggregate planning, variability, inventory, and network design. And so all of those are fair game, as well as the connections between them. The written exam also is cumulative, but there's a much more emphasis on inventory management and network design. All right, so what are some recommendations for doing well on this exam? Well, and also in life is I think you should, follow your heart, but take your brain with you. So remember to bring your brain, most of the stuff, just apply it and illustrate the knowledge that you've learned throughout this course. Probably more specific and maybe useful advice and recommendations for doing well is you should really understand, and I'll emphasize the word understand, the solutions to all the homework problems, in-class assignments, and of this semester's old exam. So one way I find good, especially conceptual questions, is what people did not do so well on the old exam. So in this time, we only had one old exam, but I would encourage you to go look and make sure you understand what you did wrong there so that you get the concepts right on the final exam. There are posted old exams. There aren't posted final exams, but there are posted old exams that have the concepts of inventory theory and network design. So most of the time in this class, inventory theory was tested on exam 2. There are a number of exam 2s posted on LMS, old exams. Again, please do them, and I'm glad to check answers, talk you through solutions. And then the only time that network design exam has been posted is the very first time I taught this class back in 2015. We started with that topic. So there's a midterm exam 1 from 2015 that also has some network design questions in it. The other advice I would have for you is read the textbook, understand the course slides, know the answers to clicker questions, watch the online office hours, rewatch these videos. I'm gonna make some more videos to review for the final exam. And then don't wait till last minute to study and or ask questions. I'm here to help. And I'm hanging out on WebEx during normal class hours and on Wednesdays during normal office hours. So please, I'm here to help, and hopefully you do really, really well on the exam. And so I just wanted to kind of step back and think, this was a slide I think from the very first day of class, thinking about why would you take this class? And I know many of you have to, so that was maybe one reason as well. But I hope you got interested in the topic of supply chains. I mean, right now it's an extremely timely topic. You can't almost turn on the news, look at Google News without something about the supply chain with COVID-19. And so it's really critical. It's an essential service. If you think about what has been allowed to continue operating in New York State, is basically supply chain logistics, material handling. And so I think hopefully this class gave you a better appreciation for both the importance, but also the interesting trade-offs associated with supply chains. And maybe say, okay, the application area is not something I really care about, but it got you exposed or maybe more interested in the methodology. And so when we think about the methodology, we started with statistics, time series analysis with forecasting. We did optimization for both aggregate planning and network optimization, and then really applied probability and distributions for inventory theory. And so these are all methodologies that can be applied beyond the application of supply chain. So hopefully you think about that, take that with you throughout this class. And with that, I would just like to say thank you for being a great class. I know it's an interesting way to end the semester. I know lots of people are graduating, congrats. And what I would also say is please keep in touch. I do try to update a blog. I'm on Twitter. My email address is there. And then please, if you feel comfortable and have a LinkedIn account, that's a great way to keep up with alumni, to see as you change jobs and do amazing things. I get to cheer you on virtually. So thank you very much for being a wonderful class. And I hope everyone is healthy, safe, and you continue to do awesome things, whether that's in the supply chain or beyond.